What is up, all you beautiful gamers? Welcome back to the weekly Razer Recap. We hope you guys all enjoy. We got some crazy, spicy stories. Are you ready?
Spiciest, at least a 10 in spice level, I'd
yeah,
say.
it's super hot. We hope you guys all enjoy. Let's get into it. And first up, we got another person leaving. Yes, it's going to be a giant platform switch. I would say probably the best announcement video we have seen in terms of production quality so far. And following a lot of movers over to YouTube, that's going to be Ludwig officially leaving Twitch. Your once subathon and top Twitch sub record holder no longer on the platform.
You know what poop is? Huh. It's pretty much the same one.
Yeah, it's just like a different color.
Yeah. Just want to take that home?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting, especially when you hear him talk about it when he's saying, and people have their opinions on this because maybe streamers shouldn't be treated special, maybe they should, but him saying, hey, I was quote unquote the golden boy of Twitch and I never got any special treatment from these guys. They never reached out to me, they were never extra nice to me. But then when suddenly Twitch was offering me money, YouTube wanted to take care of me and actually listen to me and treat me like a real person, and that's what he ended up valuing enough to switch over.
And probably a lot of different variables into why he made this decision. I think Timthetatman also adding on that what Ludwig said is that YouTube fought for him. So if you guys had not heard, he had apparently flipped the coin landed on Twitch. He then went to YouTube and said, hey, my decision was Twitch, and YouTube doubled down. They fought harder for him. He took that back to Twitch and they said, all right, good luck. And that is how he evidently made his decision. Yeah. Obviously, money's probably on the table. He's talked about content, the ability to actually stream less and do more high quality content. But this mostly provoking a lot of other streamers to give their 2 cents on why Twitch is the best or the worst, and vice versa, why YouTube is the best or maybe not as good as people think it is.
It's just interesting to see these conversations happen again, because I feel like it happens every 6 months kind of whenever people are signing their contracts again and re-signing. And so this feels like another one of those pinnacles of everyone trying to figure out their contracts. We see Toast signing, we see Ludwig signing, and then we have other big names who are likely to switch soon from what we've heard.
Yeah, it happens literally every time someone signs. It's about who's offering the most, comparing and then throwing Facebook in the mix as well. And then everyone talks about discoverability and then how the platforms treat their streamers. So either way, no matter what you guys think, Twitch versus YouTube does continue. This round, well, I guess we kind of break even with Toast going to back to Twitch and now Ludwig over to YouTube. But the battle's certainly still continuing for the two platforms. This was a curious story that not too many people were talking about. I don't think we really tweeted about this at the time because Esports Awards, certainly a great little show to put on. A lot of great awards given out to a lot of great people in the industry. One who was actually nominated for Streamer of the Year, that being Dr. Disrespect, well, was never actually shown or heard during his nomination. If you guys missed the short clip out there of when they play all the streamers of the year, people like, I think it was actually ByeBye or people like Courage, where they play one of their highlight clips, or they actually, you hear their voice and the reaction to one of their better clips. When it came time for the doc though, in that short little preview, no doc voice and no doc picture on screen at all.
I'm curious if they, maybe this is just me being ignorant to it, I'm curious if they knew about it, if Dr. Disrespect and his team knew this was going to happen ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because they were nominated for a lot. I mean, they won Alex Productions, as they call it, I'm pretty sure, won Production Team of the Year. And so they must have big connections with Esports Awards. And so I'm curious if that was the conversation ahead of time, or if Esports Awards was just like, I'm not really sure if we can even show him on Twitch, so let's just not do it.
Yeah, I'm also surprised because especially with Doc calling out anybody, EA as of late blacklisting because of Twitch, and he's called out Twitch as of before, suing the F out of them. He doesn't usually hold back on these kind of things, and he usually will kind of pitch to them. So I'm surprised after Esports Awards, he didn't on stream later say, yeah, weird how the purple snakes or something else caused me not to be shown. Keep in mind, when he actually was first given his permanent ban over a year ago, that year he wasn't even nominated for Streamer of the Year, despite being the most talked about streamer. He obviously wasn't streaming though. So there was a bit of a debate back then because Esports Awards did not even have him as a nomination, despite him being, during his permanent ban, the most popular, I would say, streamer at the time.
Probably frustrating for him. I feel like we just keep having stories of how Doc gets shafted because of this Twitch drama with him. Drama is probably the lightest word I could use there. Legal action between the two of them. And so it has to be frustrating, but also if I'm Dr. Disrespect, you have to understand to a degree, Esports Awards is bigger. It's not just a single creator. And so they're not going to probably risk something like that. So
no Doc shown or seen at the Esports Awards. Why do you guys think? Why? And sadly, something we've seen a rise of over the past couple of weeks, called out by several players and creators, has been the rise of hackers in Halo. It actually comes after some great news for OpTic. If you guys have missed the HCS 2 opening events, OpTic going back-to-back, both over Cloud9, has been pretty hype. A great start for the esports scene. Unfortunately, though, right after winning back-to-back HCSs, it's Lucid, currently by a lot of eyes the best Halo player in the entire world, going on to stream and catching hackers live on stream. Later on, they're actually banned as well.
So sad to see this happening already, but also not completely unexpected because it is 2021 at this point, and we know that hackers are in every game. This is a free-to-play game, but it sucks that it's even in the competitive realm already, because we've dealt with that in the past in competitions, people cheating, especially in amateur scenes. We see that a lot, but to see it already in Halo has a lot of people concerned. But I say we haven't given up hope yet, right? It seems like people still think that maybe Microsoft can do something.
And a lot of people blaming PC players out there, which sucks, because I am one of them. I think many of us are. And I don't know if there's really a side to blame here. Let's all calm down. But certainly is concerning, because it is this early on. Technically beta, although really it's a launch here. But as we slowly approach an esports season, to your point, which will have a lot of open bracket amateur styled events to open up and have qualifiers for, if you're going to have people that are cheating in online or ranked play, imagine when there's prize money and potential real acknowledgement to be given. Who's to say some kid out there is not going to put a team together and say, yeah, I'll just try and get away with it, and really test if they're no anti-cheat, and how these lands or these qualifiers are going to look over potential cheaters too.
I mean, it's a fresh scene. You're unknown. This is probably the biggest opportunity for unknown players to become known, especially in a scene like this where you have this massive open. It's one of the best amateur scenes we've actually noticed in a while. Or I wanted to say scene again, but I said scene a lot of times. And so if you're a person that's trying to be known, why wouldn't you try to do this? Of course it's wrong. We're not supporting that.
No, please.
Like, by any means. But why not? You have nothing to lose at this point, and the biggest thing to gain.
We've seen hackers try just about anything in any game, so I would not be surprised if we do see it here. Hopefully 343 and Halo has things in store for all the hackers as of late. Pretty short one out there from the Warzone space. A lot of people disappointed about this one. A new map, but besides that, maybe not so exciting, is the brand new Pacific event, which is likely one of the worst Warzone events that we've had to date.
I did this whole thing for postcards, Doc.
6 of them, Timmy. Which probably could have just gone online. And
we're not at a point in game development in the year 2021 where
please,
we can.
I'm not even going to stop you.
Where we can do 6 things, right? 6 things to get ready for the new map 5 hours later. And it's pictures. It's black and gray, actually, pictures.
So some people will argue about this and be like, it's not a full event, that's why it was so bad. But what we saw was them complete all these challenges. We specifically were looking at Tim and Doc in the situation, but everyone was doing it. You complete all these challenges, and then at the end, you get to see like 5 or 6 postcards of the map. And so it wasn't even full clear pictures. It was just postcards. You unlock a gun, but you can't even use the gun or look at the gun until Pacific actually releases. And people were just not happy with that.
At this time of year, we're kind of in that, not really an off season, but we're still waiting. An anti-cheat at the point of it releasing, we were still waiting for the new map, correct? And so there was, just toss out a useless little half event update kind of thing. I don't really blame them too much, but obviously when you're dealing with people like Tim and Doc, when they outcry about these kind of things, the people usually take notice pretty fast.
I think the hard part of all of this is that, like Doc says, this is a company that's making billions a quarter, you know?
5 million a day.
And so if you have that much money, why can you not get more than postcards? I think is what people were arguing. And he even says, hey, if this was like a smaller game, maybe their first game or something like that, and this was their first event, I would be okay with it. This would be good. But because of who we're working with here, it's kind of ridiculous. Personally, I think we've been spoiled, weirdly enough, by games like Fortnite, who have the best events and always have, even if people don't know what's going on. And so we've gotten to a point where we're spoiled with season to season. We're expecting some really big event, some big cinematic, something that we can play. just to get to the next season. And I'm thinking in my head, like, we've never had those growing up or
No.
anything. And so I think we're just spoiled at this point.
Like typically when a game releases, that is the game you get,
Right.
at least back in the day, right? So we'll see what the future of Warzone is. I think it just goes to show that a lot of people were pretty thirsty to hop back on the game and hoping for a big event. Doc and Tim and others upset with the Pacific event. What did you guys think about it? Pacific. Probably the biggest story this past week, we've talked about this before, with someone like Ninja selling out to Mixer and the supposed fall off of Ninja, which has been heavily debated. This one was a bit more unique because it's a questionable one. I don't think there's many people saying these kind of things, but it was actually Timthetatman randomly taking on stream to defend his buddy Nickmercs on supposedly what viewers are saying was a gigantic fall off ever since he left Warzone for Apex Legends, which right off the rip, I don't think there's many people actually saying this, but Tim still stood up for his buddy.
And there's this weird group of people that are so obsessed with numbers, and they're like, oh dude, Nickmercs, man, he's not playing Warzone anymore, he's falling off. If falling off is being a multi-millionaire with 20,000 viewers playing what he wants to play, I think those same people would sign that same contract. So
I think there's a decent amount in like comment sections. I don't think anyone like big notable big voices are calling out Nick and saying you fell off, but we see a lot of people in comment sections saying, oh, you're at 27k averaging. That's about 40% less than what you were on Warzone, who was typically around like 35 to 40k viewership. And so yes, technically that is a fall off in viewership, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, is where people are sitting at, and where Tim and Nick I think were coming at more, because in their response they're like, who cares? I'm doing what I enjoy. I'm enjoying the game, and you have to do that if you're a streamer.
And I think you also have to look at perspective of the game that someone is playing in. So, I mean, yes, he went from being one of the top Warzone streamers to now he's one of the top Apex streamers. So it's all about perspective. That's a game that's that's typically watched less on Twitch. And so with that, the viewership also will go down. You look at someone like, I guess Ninja's kind of a weird comparison, because Ninja's viewership really did have a drastic fall off, but Nickmercs is going from the top of one game to the top of a different game that he still enjoys playing. And let's not fret about 25,000 viewers on average for Apex is still an incredible feat, especially for someone who's just really enjoying the game.
I'm fine. We're chilling. For me, it's not about that. It's about me having fun. About me having fun and grinding and getting after it. And if that pushes people away, then that pushes people away. I'm so okay with that, man. And I was a long time ago. I've had a lot of times where in my career where I didn't play the game that was the most popular or the game that got me the most viewers. And I've also made big changes where I've left a game that I was doing great on and I went to a different one. It's part of life, man. Change is a part of life.
Also, after talking to plenty of people out there, and I'm sure people know, especially with the last year that Nick has had and continues to have with sponsorships and partnerships, he is currently, when it comes to the game and esports space, one of, if not the single most desired streamer out there. So although his viewership count went down, his deals are not going down. Everything he's making is not going down. That's going right on up.
And he even said with his this new Twitch contract he had, that this is the biggest deal he's ever signed.
Yeah.
Which is crazy knowing the rest of the things that he signed. And so I think he has said he just has to hit his contracted hours, and he's gonna do that by enjoying the game that he's playing. Like, he's not gonna kill himself and like play Warzone over and over again because he hates it, because it's unplayable. And so it makes sense for him to be playing Apex. I think a lot of people are probably pretty jealous of where he's at. Like Tim said, he's like, if you had the chance to stream to 26,000 viewers every day playing the game that you want to play and make millions, do you really call that falling off? Personally, no.
Yeah, not a shot. What did you guys think about Timthetatman defending Nickmercs on a supposed fall off? As per usual, hope you guys all enjoy the Razer Recap. Lots of great stories out there. Hopefully some more great stories as we approach next week as well.
We're so glad you came here. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Ta-ta.